archer with bow in hand. His aim is true across the land, not just in science, but in every heart. He hits his mark with a steady heart. They call him chewin, quantum eraser. It's all too easy for him when he takes the stage. With every word he states, they feel the rage. His presence alone rattles their cage. The crayon eating nupties are running out of time. They call him Huey, the quantum eraser. With every swing of the cowbell, the illusion fades. And with each strike, the glow-burst illusion degrades. Huey's treatments, they cure them of their plight. Guide them toward truth with all his might. They call him Huey, quantum eraser. The hardest thing about being a Glover is tell your daddy you're gay, oh so gay. That's why they need Huey's treatment. They call him Huey, quantum eraser. They call him Huey, the quantum eraser.
That's some mighty fine picking and a grinning. And we're off. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Hope you enjoyed the beginning entertainment. It looks like everyone has. Oh, there's Supernova, Super Mustache. Both from Roger Ledwell. He's always leading the way, man. Number one from a scary flat earther. Are you the scary flat earther? And put a quarter in the jukebox and play it again. I don't know if I'd play it again right now, man. I think everyone would leave. Too funny. How's it going out there, guys? Good to see you again. It's been a minute, couple minutes since last Tuesday. Sorry, I had to back out the Friday show. There was a conflict, and I was told about it after I already added the show, so it put me in a little bit of a bind. But my son's graduating high school, and it functioned in that effect, so I had to prioritize, if you know what I mean. But we're all caught up. I know you guys were just waiting for this. Was anyone angry? You can type it in chat that you're angry. I don't usually do that. If I add a show, then I'm usually that's it. I'm 100%. So it would have to take something to It would have to take something ineffective. What had happened? So, yeah. Well, congratulations to my son, man. Done a good job. Really, really good job. Unlike me in high school, that's for sure. Don't give me a grrr, Roger. Oh, thanks for the super chats, man. Appreciate that. All right, who do we got here? We've got Bruce, Sabine, Hasenpfeffer, chewing her own cud. This is the second one that we've, or the second treatment that we've done on Sabina Bruce here. The other one, I'm not gonna play the other one, but it's on the channel. Just go to treatments and you'll find Sabine, or just type her name in. Just put Cook or Sabina, because I think it was Cook. Bring me my Hasenpfeffer. That was the last one we did on this numpty, but if you want to check it out, just type it into my channel. She'll pull right up. We are going to go over just a small section from the video 4 years ago to just give a little history of where we're at. And she's just come out with a recent video on Flat Earth, so there's 4 years of separation in there. But just to get a little flavor of it, let me kick off here. Most Ricky Tick. Gotta make some final checks. Volume looks good. Lost 1, this is lost 3. Are you lost 2 over? Yeah, volume looks good. So we don't get any calls during the show. Okay, there she is. Bruce, Sabina Bruce, sorry. Too funny, man. I'm looking at her with that jean vest on. Glory days. In the wink of a young girl's eye, glory days. She's a clown, boy. So we'll have a little fun with her today. All right, I am not set up. Let me check back with you guys one last time. Got it. Got James Mays, what's up, man? Haven't heard from you in a coon's age, dude. Where you been? Check me up on Skype, man. Hit me up. Yeah, you know what? I forgot that it was Mother's Day, and I come in here and I seen everyone saying Happy Mother's Day, and I ran into right before the show. It was like 2 minutes to go. I said, I'll take one for the team here, and I gave my wife a big hug and said Happy Mother's Day. I'm not good with that stuff. I don't remember it. So thanks, guys, for hooking me up. She appreciated it. I should have got a card, but I'm just not a card person, you know. In fact, I dislike cards. Now, my mother-in-law, she makes them handmade. She doesn't go buy them and stuff at Walmart. She actually makes them. So those are the only cards I enjoy. Any of the other ones, give me a break. And then, see, my wife is a card person, and I have to sign cards until the cows come home. It's like somebody saying, well, go say hello. I'll tell you what, you can't stand that. But we're getting off topic. All right. Let me get my act back together. All right. Let's go with this one first. Like I said, it's a small section. I'm going to play the section through and not comment on it so you get the whole flavor of it. And then I'll circle back and then we'll train wreck her. She train wrecks herself, but I'll make sure she's good and well train wrecked. All right. That. There she is. Sabina Bruce. Born in the USA. Well, she wasn't born in the USA. She's a herm. So I guess that one doesn't fit. What's another one from Bruce? Got Glory Days. We got that one. Don't start a fire. Don't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire. We'll be just dancing in the dark. Dun, 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 dun. I can't believe I remembered that one. All right, you guys get the flavor, you get the picture. All right, let's see. We're good to go. Let me check the sound quality. We already did that, but I want to take one more check. Yeah, check. We're good. Here we go. Check it out. Like I said, I'm going to play this one through. It's a short one. We're not going to play this whole video. It's really stupid. But this is pretty funny, so I thought I'd play this before we got into our most recent video. Like I said, this was 4 years ago. Flat from Sabina Bruce, Sabina Hasenpfeffer. Flat Earth science. Wrong, but not stupid. No, we're right and you're stupid. Here we go.
There is no appealing to authority here. You have totally yourself collected all this evidence about how society works. You have also yourself collected lots of evidence that science works. Any airplane, any laptop, any pair of glasses is evidence that science works. It's evidence that the system works. It's evidence for how the whole world works. So if you cannot recall just what experiments demonstrate that the Earth is not flat, or if you cannot immediately figure out what's wrong with flat earthers' arguments, there's no shame in rejecting their claims, because your rejection is based on evidence, evidence that science works. What's wrong is that flat earthers claim they are leading a scientific argument.
Shut up. Here we go again with commentary.
There is no appealing to authority here.
Yeah, I want to stop here. Yes, this is an appeal to authority. You're appealing to yourself. This is a classic textbook appeal to authority fallacy, because an appeal to authority fallacy is appealing to someone who is not a subject matter expert in the specific area discussed. That's you. You're a theoretical physicist. That's it. That's immaterial physicalist or an abstract physicalist. That's what you are. So whenever the second you say science, it's over for you. Now, it's been recent, but I've been hearing a lot of flat earthers get this fallacy wrong. So this is a good teaching moment. So maybe I'll save a strip off you, or just educate you slightly, and so you wouldn't get embarrassed, because a lot of people are getting this one wrong. Let's take a look at this. So this is from the Internet Encyclopedia on Philosophy.edu. And for all you idiot balltards out there, this site is peer-reviewed, by the way. So they say you appeal to authority if you back up your reasoning by saying that it is supported by what some authority says on the subject. Most reasoning of this kind is not fallacious. And much of our knowledge properly comes from listening to authorities. However, this is the important part. The however or tills, that means listen up. However, appealing to authority as a reason to believe something is fallacious whenever the authority appealed to is not really an authority in this particular subject. Is that putting some hair on your back? Now, this statement up here, most reasoning of this kind is not fallacious, and this statement right here. And much of our knowledge properly comes from listening to authorities. That statement doesn't relieve those authorities from demonstrating that what they say is true. Just want to make sure that's clear. We're just dealing with the appeal to authority fallacy. And then we'll bring it on home with Stanford.edu. The ad verecundium fallacy concerns appeals to authority or expertise. Fundamentally, this fallacy involves accepting as evidence for a proposition the pronouncement of someone who is taken to be an authority, but is not really an authority. This can happen when non-experts parade as experts in fields in which they have no special competence. Now, I hope everyone gets that. I went over this a few times in the logical fallacy presentations, but I think I mentioned an appeal to authority fallacy like a few weeks back, and somebody commented and said, that's not what an appeal to authority fallacy is, Kiwi. Well, go ahead and call up the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy and Stanford have changed their definition of what appeals to authority are. Okay? Clowns. Got it? We good? All right. Back to Sabina. Bruce Sabina. What else you got to say? So this is an appeal to authority fallacy, and you're doing it to yourself.
You have totally yourself collected all this evidence.
What the hell is that? Did she just poop out her brains? I think this is cringe. What the hell is this supposed to represent? Who knows?
About how society works.
Why are we talking about society? Shouldn't you be providing scientific evidence, because you're like you're a bald-tard scientist, right? Now, we know that you're actually not a scientist, but that's us over here. We know for an absolute fact. But in Baltardia, you're an actual scientist, and you should represent yourself that way. So an easy way to go about doing this is don't have a 15-minute and 50 video right here back 4 years ago. Just come out with your best of your best spinning ball space monkey proofs and put an end to it all. Just give your scientific evidence for your spinning ball space monkey and end it, right? That would make sense. Instead of this 15-minute video, I mean, give us a break. What? I'm going to tell you what she's doing here, folks. What she's doing is she's got deuce 7 offsuit. Instead of holding it and bluffing, she's not even doing that. What she does is she get her deuce 7 offsuit. She lays the card down on a table, face up, and then goes all in. That's what she does. Every single one of her videos, I can't say I haven't watched every single one. Let me take that back. In the 2 videos, I think it's 3. I watched a quantum mechanics train wreck about 4 years ago. It was a belly laugher, but I digress. In the 3 videos that I watched, that's what she does. And she's going to do it again. She's doing it right now. She's going to do it on the video that she just released. It's a belly laugher. Sabina Bruce, you got some serious issues, man. We're going to deal with them today. I'm giving you a treatment. Right? This is the treatment for what ails you. Hopefully it helps. Get this guy out here. Just the brains that you pooped out, this is pretty cringe.
You have also yourself collected lots of evidence that science works.
That science works? What evidence have you collected that tells you that science works? That's a pragmatic fallacy, number one. It's just a non sequitur. Science doesn't work. It's a method. So, are you... Yeah, you picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. So this is a clown show. Oh, by the way, what she's doing here, and you'll pick up on this in a minute, she's appealing to her fellow baltards in her congregation. That's who she's talking to. She's not talking to you guys, you flat earth. She's not talking to me. She's talking to her fellow baltards, which is truly hilarious. Listen up, she'll tell you.
Any airplane, any laptop, any pair of glasses is evidence that science works.
She thinks that science is airplanes, laptops, and spectacles. You can't make this up. So what she's telling the baltards is, essentially, before we get there, she's going to say it anyway. We'll deal with it here in a second. But what she's trying to tell baltards is to don't worry if you get a mud hole stomped in your arguments and you get bitch slapped. There's no shame. Just keep in mind that you can just hand wave dismiss any of Flat Earthers' arguments and any arguments we don't have. You can just rely on the fact that airplanes, laptops, and spectacles exist, and you're covered. I'm serious as a heart attack. That's what she just said. You think I'm lying? Listen to this.
It's evidence that the system works. It's evidence for how the whole world works.
Now the whole world works. You're going all in. So the existence of airplanes, laptop, and spectacles is how the whole world works. That's profound. You're a moron. You booger-eating bent.
So if you cannot recall just what experiments demonstrate that the Earth is not flat.
Oh, brother. Experiment. She doesn't know what an experiment is, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because she's an abstract physicalist. Has no idea what an experiment is. This is a category error. You don't find out what shape something is by using an experiment. You glue sniffer. So you just compromise yourself. Like I said, she got do 7, slap them down on the table, face up, all in. Thanks for that one. We appreciate that. Clown.
Or if you cannot immediately figure out what's wrong with flat earthers' arguments, there's no shame in rejecting their claims.
There's no shame, baltards. Poor baby baltards with their disheveled arguments and their hand-wave dismissals. Don't take it personally when you get a mud hole stomped in that ass or you get bitch slapped. There's no shame because airplanes, laptops, and spectacles exist. I told you that's what she's doing. She's trying to salve their souls. Oh, what a clown. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you a little flavor of this with Sabina Bruce. But we'll head on to the primary video. This one. This is the most recent one that she's put out on Flat Earth. There's a 4-year stall in between. I don't know why. But guess what she's going to do again? In this 8-minute video. Now, like I said, she's a ball-tard scientist. And even though we know she couldn't pass 5th grade intro to general science, but the ball-tards consider her a scientist. She considers herself a scientist, and she's on the ball-tard side, making her a ball-tard scientist. Now, you'd figure, just to put an end to everything, all you would have to do is come out with the best of the best scientific evidence, because she's a scientist, to show that everyone lives on a sphere tard. But she doesn't do that. So tacitly, it's like I said, do 7. I got do 7 offsuit. She's talking to herself. Slap them down on the table and face up and go all in. That's what she's doing here today, ladies and gentlemen. It's a belly laugher. She's a moron. And she's not even aware she's doing it. So this is called, and this one came out not that long ago, 8 days ago. So this one's called Why Flat Earthers Scare Me. So she's scared. You know, this rings of that doofus dipshit astronomer, Dr. Danny Faulkner. Remember when he said he was scared and thought there was threats? Remember when people used to say, "Are you scared?" When we were kids. I always used to say, is there an A in front of that word? But anyway, I digress. But like I said, you'd figured that she would just end it, but nope. She's going to compromise herself over and over again with her do 7 offsuit. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm starting to get worried about flat earthers.
You know what we're getting worried about? The idiot who dresses you in the morning and your hairstylist needs an eye exam. You haircut pumpkin pie haircutted freak. That's what we're really concerned about.
I made a video about this a couple of years ago.
No, not a couple. She can't even count. 4 years ago. Let's check this. Go back here. 3 years ago. That's not 3 years. August 22nd, 2020. It's close to 4 years. Just to be technically accurate.
And I thought that it was a temporary curiosity, like some religious sects have.
Religious sects? You mean the heliocentric ball-tard spinning space monkey religion? You know about that one, don't you, glue sniffer?
Moment in the sun and then disappear. But the flat earther community seems
Flat earther community? Where's that at? You got a phone number, email address?
to be growing on the face of it.
Seems to be growing. That's what I'm talking about. We're not concerned with that. Do 7 offsuit. We're waiting for your scientific evidence for your sphere tard, ball tard, because you're a ball tard scientist. Now, what are we going to do now? Are we going to come out with some Elmer Fudd model cartoons? Is that all you got? Don't you realize that this is do 7 offsuit? Are you that stupid? That's rhetorical. Don't answer that question.
Flat earth beliefs are completely bizarre.
Flat earth beliefs. I have no flat earth beliefs. I know for an absolute fact that the Earth is observably, measurably, and navigated flat and can demonstrate it in spades. You're coming out here with some cartoons. That's what we're left with, abstract physicalist. Because she's a theoretical physicist. That's an abstract physicalist. Hope you guys caught that.
Most flat earthers think
But now she's going to divine the thoughts of complete strangers in the midst of her stereotype fallacy. That's where we're starting off. She's supposed to be educated and learned. And this is what we're starting off with.
that the Earth is a disk
Your parents must be proud and game roosters.
with the North Pole in the middle, and the South Pole is a wall
Straw man.
on the outside that keeps
Well, you got an ice wall on the outside. Shout out to Nathan.
the water from escaping. They can't really agree on where the continents are.
What? Number one, this isn't an agree-disagree category or genre. The nature of our reality is objective, not agree, disagree, subjective. Are you stupid? See, when you stereotype fallacy, you got so many fallacies in there. I should have Flatsy mark these down. I'm not going to do it. I want Flatsy to enjoy her Mother's Day. But you're about a booger-eating bent, aren't you? You're not starting off too strong. We going to get any of that scientific evidence, ball-tard scientist?
Or how many there are.
Or how many there are? But do we talk about how many continents there are?
Or whether the South Pole maybe extends all the way to infinity.
What? What the hell are you smoking? Yeah, I remember for the past 8 years, I've had video after video. In fact, I did 3 last week on how I think that the South Pole is extended infinitely. Yeah, yeah, she's right. I'd like to have that stricken from the record, Your Honor. She's a delusional dipshit. She's just making shit up.
So it's a flat Earth multiverse theory based.
Yeah, she's right on top of this. I just had a flat Earth multiverse theory video. Wasn't it on Tuesday? What is wrong with you? I mean, other than you're retarded and you're Dunning-Kruger delusional. I know, you're booger-eating bent. That's what the problem is.
Basically, part of the reason people believe in this is just
What the hell is this? Is this science? Is this your scientific evidence for your ball-tard? What's your Play-Doh stickmen on a basketball? What the hell is going on here? Oh, this is from TikTok. Is that the official site for abstract physicalists?
just a lack of basic science education.
You think this is science? We already know where your science acumen is. You already compromise yourself. You don't know what an experiment is. You don't even know what a scientific hypothesis is. You're a clown. You're a pretender clown.
Some of them think that if the Earth
Some of them think. How do you know what they think? Where are the bat piss and the frog's legs? You know, for your divinations into your partial stereotype fallacy? Wow, is she delusional?
Earth was a globe, then water just run off on the South Pole, pulled down by...
Pulled down by what? What's that you say? What's pulling it down? Clown.
I wonder what.
I wonder what too.
They also misunderstand how perspective works.
No. Listen up, Baltards. As a Baltard, we've already demonstrated this. Shout out to Brian. As a Baltard, you must deny perspective exists. You've been doing it for 8 years. With all your numpty clips, the Muppet vision, you know, the orthogonal little drawings that you have. Do I have to get Brian in here to go over the 6-foot boat example again? You, as a ball-tard spinning space monkey, must deny that perspective exists. It's not in any of your Earth curve calculations. It doesn't exist for you. Do you get it? Do we need to do another presentation? I'm not going to get into this today. This is hilarious. This is just like sextants. Ball-tards must deny the very existence of sextants. Why? Because they take elevation angles. What's the definition of an elevation angle? Well, it has a horizontal plane in it. Do you guys see any horizontal planes on sphere-tards? That's a paradox. You must deny the very existence of it. You haven't got that. Why is that? I know, well, you're retarded. That's why. Why don't you get your fleet of slobber nurses in here so we can discuss it with them and they can relay it to you using Ubonics?
How trigonometry works, how
Trigonometry works? Does trigonometry do any work? What are you talking about? Another pragmatic fallacy. It's non sequitur. What do you mean trigonometry works? You don't even know what trigonometry is. Most of the ballers that I've run into have stated that they don't know what triangles are. And they didn't know there was a connection between triangles and trigonometry. Shout out to Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy. He said we didn't have to use trigonometry, but we have triangles. He's a moron like you.
cameras work, and
How cameras work? What? Just shut up.
on and on it goes.
On and on and on and on and blah, 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 and mountains of evidence. Yeah, we get that all the time. Been getting it for years. Listen, let's get back to this. See, you're Sabina Bruce. You're a ball-tard scientist, okay? It's your job to provide scientific evidence for your sphere-tard, ball-tard. This isn't difficult. Stick with your expertise and get down to business. This performance, this is what this is. It's like a little idiot performance. I mean, second graders, incoherent ones, are in a corner belly laughing and blushing. Get to some cowbell in your area of expertise. Please. Or else you're just making a horse's ass out of yourself. Can somebody please tell her and save her?
But it's not just a matter of misunderstanding. If you believe that the Earth is flat,
I don't believe that the Earth is flat. I know it for an absolute fact. It is observably, measurably, and navigatably flat. You do it in spades. We've been doing it for years. She's not keeping up with the flat Earth debate, is she? You booger-eating bent?
you also have to believe.
No. See, this is non sequitur. Because I didn't believe your first statement. Your first premise was if you believe, but I don't believe. So any beliefs after this, if I have to do any other beliefs, are also fallacious. So it's over. You're a train wreck. Look at her. See, do you actually believe what you're telling us? Because it's contradictory.
In a global conspiracy.
I don't have to believe in a global conspiracy. Like I said, it's non sequitur, but there is a global conspiracy. The heliocentric ball-tard spinning space monkey religion, and you're buried up to your ears in it. So there's no question about that. Do you know what a conspiracy is? On your next show, I want you to define a conspiracy. I'll bet you she doesn't know what it is. How much you want to bet?
That's hiding the truth for no particular reason.
What's hiding the truth to your appeal to motive fallacy? What's the truth? That's what we want to know. We want to get to the truth. Are you going to give us any? Or just these feebly pathetic moron attempts at poisoning the well and getting everything wrong.
For starters, you must believe that most of physics is wrong.
Oh my God. That you just compromised your science acumen again. You're really good at this, by the way. Number one, you're in a category error. Whether the Earth is flat or a sphere is outside the remit of natural science and the scientific method, because whether the Earth is flat or a sphere is a what is question. The scientific method only adjudicates how why questions. So what is questions are descriptions, and how why questions are explanations, and they validate it by experiment. This glue sniffer over here, Isaac Newton, isn't a physicist. He never performed a single scientific experiment in his life. So how can he be a physicist? He's as much a physicist as you are. So, and what you could have done in this complete category error, you could have put anything up here, like badminton instructor or economist or cookie dough creator, and put a line through it and put, like Martha Stewart here, and it had just about the same relevance. That's how what a belly laugher joke you are. You abstract physicalist. That's what he was too, by the way. You're bedfellows. You compromised your science acumen again.
And physicists are just making things up.
No, they're dumbasses like you are. They're just dumbasses. That's our claim, and we can support it in spades.
We're all part of a big conspiracy.
We're all part of a big conspiracy. No, you're part of a big dumbass crowd. You're glue-sniffing Dunning-Kruger's fungus munchers. That's what you are. No conspiracy, you're just a dumbass.
Geophysicists?
Geophysicists like Tony Purcell, who stated that he doesn't have to have a technical understanding of physical reality. Oh, boy.
They're also in on it.
No, they're just dumbasses. Love, it's not rocket surgery. They're dumbasses like you.
Astrophysicists all...
Those are pseudoscientists. Demonstrably. They don't know what hypotheses are. Like you.
liars.
No, they're dumbasses. I don't know their intent. I can't tell they're lying. I just know they're dumb as a stump.
Everyone who's ever been involved in launching a rocket into space.
There hasn't been anyone that's done that. Because space is a second law of thermodynamics violation, love. There's no satellites or any rockets being launched into a second law of thermodynamics violation.
Or putting a satellite into orbit is...
The satellites aren't in any orbit. Oh, and orbits, by the way, you're going to need elevation angles for that. Do you know that's the #1 flat earth proof now? It's probably going to be for the rest of time. She doesn't know that. Orbits in a second law of thermodynamics violation. You're not getting out to Narnia there, love.
Is part of that conspiracy too.
No conspiracy. The conspiracy is the heliocentric ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. That's the conspiracy.
Moon landings didn't happen.
That's pretty funny. Where did I see that before? Is that Michael Jackson? He just turned his whole costume into it.
The ISS, not in orbit.
No, it's not in Narnia, love. You can't have something in Narnia that doesn't exist. Listen to when I tell you this. Ball-tards, listen up. Everything in your fairy tale vacuum is rendered null. You can't appeal to it because it's in Narnia. Outer space, the vacuum of space, that's Narnia. It's second law of thermodynamics violation, along with a number of other laws and principles, including, notwithstanding, and including Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac's law, parts of Dalton's law, Avogadro's law, and Brownian motion. It's in violation of every single one of them. And the big kahuna is second law of thermodynamics violation. It's all over. You're belly laughers. You're glue sniffers.
Every single photo that's ever been taken of Earth from space.
There's never been a photo taken from Narnia. You can't take photos from Narnia because Narnia doesn't exist.
Fake. Sounds
No, impossible. Not fake. That never happened.
It's pretty crazy, doesn't it?
What's pretty crazy is you are in violation of the second law of thermodynamics and all the other laws and principles I just stated. That's the crazy part. You booger-eating bent. You daft cow.
But then lots of people also believe that
Who cares what lots of people also believe? What are you, divining people's thoughts? What's this? What is going on here?
omniscient being keeps track of who they have sex with.
Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me. Bruce, Sabina, like I said, just get your Do 7 offsuit, okay? And then slap it down on the table face up. Go all in. That's what you've just done here again. Like we've been querying you. We've been asking, requesting into this belly laugher. You are a ball-tard scientist in the ball-tard's eyes, and you think you're one. We know you're not. You're a belly laugher. However, besides the point. You need to provide scientific evidence for your ball-tard sphere tard. Do you get it? Obviously not.
A recent representative poll in North America.
Oh my God, now we're in the polls. Is that what theoretical physicists do? You know, the abstract physicalists, did they go around conducting polls? I mean, this is what she's talking about. Look at this, belief in conspiracy theories. Is this jokes? Unbelievable. Like I said, she doesn't realize she's Do 7 offsuit in this. She has no clue. Which is truly hilarious. No awareness whatsoever.
Found that 5% think the Earth is flat and another 6% aren't quite sure. I'm not quite sure how many people lie in these polls.
She's concerned with how many people are lying in these polls. Because that's what theoretical physicists do. Why don't you do an experiment on that? You booger-eating bent. Who the hell is this down here? You got a fucking blow-up doll of Einstein down here? By the way, he wasn't a physicist either. He was right in your lane. For the most part, an abstract physicalist. A philosopher with a calculator.
But there's no doubt that
What the hell is going on here? The ball-tards have this really cringeworthy fascination with birds. Remember back in, a couple years ago? With Shamalama Gamma Panda Ding Dong and his birds humping natural experiment. Like I said, I hear now Sabina Bruce is denying that birds exist. Why does it have to be bird? Couldn't you pick something else? Get them off your trail. Suppress the scent. Oh boy. Okay, birds don't exist. All right, Sabina.
interest in flat Earth ideas has spiked.
What flat Earth ideas? What ideas? The Earth's flat. It's not an idea. It's observably, measurably, and navigated flat. Not an idea or ideas.
In the past decade, as you can see in the Google search trends.
So now the theoretical physicist is going to comment and cite Google search trends. You can't make this. Like I said, it's Do 7 offsuit. That's all this is. She doesn't even realize it. Okay, let's take a look at the Google search trends.
In 2009, the International Flat Earth Society.
Hold up, I want to know International Flat Earth Society. I need to know the members and their favorite colors.
Set up a website. In 2013, part of its members set up.
I want part of their members, so the members that just gave me their favorite colors, I want to know their picks on the best fantasy football running backs. Because that's relevant.
a wiki and discussion forum. Around 2015, the topic started to appear on YouTube and spread from here. In 2017, the first Flat Earth conference took place, which attracted a lot of media attention. YouTube made big changes to its recommendation algorithm, and interest tapered somewhat off after.
So interest tapered after they censored it. She's the oracle at the top of the mountain. What if they start censoring shampoo? What, could you predict that there are going to be some bad hair days, Sabina Bruce? You're a bozo, you bimbo.
After that, but rather than just fading away, in recent years, interest in Flat Earth has been on the rise again.
She's going with Google Trends. Yeah, that's what I said, folks. It's 2-7 offsuit, man.
It's probably to no small part because of TikTok, which...
Why don't you do TikTok search trends? See what's happening there. And overlay it on your Google search trends. That sounds like science.
has now become a haven for flat earthers. Scientists...
That's a stereotype fallacy. I don't go on TikTok, love, and I'm a flat earther. So are you getting some type of clue on how and why stereotypes are fallacious? I just gave you a hint. Clown.
don't take flat earthers seriously, and
What'd she say? I missed that. Sorry.
a haven for flat earthers. Scientists don't take flat earthers seriously.
Why should they? It's a category error. Scientists don't need to come in this. This topic is strictly geometric. Has nothing whatsoever to do with scientists. It's like saying economists don't take flat earthers seriously. Okay. That they don't need to. It doesn't have anything to do with economics. You get it? Doubtful. You're a clueless clown, and you just compromised your science acumen again. It only takes one. You dozy duffer.
And I can see where they're coming from.
You can't see where they're coming. You're not a scientist. You think you are, but you're not. You're an abstract physicalist.
But I think it's a mistake. To me, flat
A
earthers...
mistake? What the hell was that? Was that science? Are we looking at science here? Bald-tard scientist, please provide scientific evidence of your sphere-tard, bald-tard. It's not rocket surgery. You going to get to that at some point?
are the first symptom
Flat earthers are a symptom. Huh? That's bound to be non sequitur.
of a much bigger problem.
What's the bigger problem? What the hell is this? Is this Hershey Kisses? It's vanilla chocolate Hershey Kisses.
They show us what happens when people realize they can't understand modern science.
Modern science doesn't exist, number one. There's only natural science and the scientific method. That's it. So she's just making shit up. Your Honor would like to have that stricken from the record. She's just making shit up. Sustained.
Don't trust scientists, and
Don't trust science. We don't need to trust scientists. Scientists perform experiments. They validate by demonstration, by experiments. There's no need to trust or distrust them. They show you their results, and you do it over and over and over again. No trust required. Abstract physicalist, bald-tard scientist. We are awaiting patiently your scientific evidence for your bald-tard sphere-tard. Can you get to that? All these theatrics is pushing everyone to your do 7 offsuit. You know the one where you get do 7? It's Texas Hold'em. You get do 7 and immediately toss them down, face up, all in. You're doing that over and over and over again. And like I said, the truly hilarious part, she doesn't even realize it. Can somebody tell her? Or just let her go? Even if you told her, she's so Dunning-Kruger, she won't realize it. She lacks any awareness of her surroundings whatso friggin' ever.
therefore
And her hairstylist is blind.
throw out even the most basic scientific knowledge
Why? Scientific knowledge. This doesn't have anything to do with science. You're in a category error. This is a geometric topic. Compromised again.
on the rationale of skepticism. Flat
On the rationale of skepticism. Skepticism of what?
earthers are somewhat
The stereotype fallacy again. Flat earthers are someone. Have you done polls of flat earthers yourself? Or, like I said, how are you divining these thoughts and motives of complete strangers through your stereotype fallacy? Is this jokes?
extreme and that they're actually throwing out evidence that they could test themselves.
What evidence are we throwing out? Can you give an example? I want to know what evidence I've been throwing out. You got to support your claim. Are you a village idiot? You've been making a lot of claims here, and I've been letting you go. Now I'm going to object, Your Honor, for a baseless assertion fallacy. She's a village idiot. Sustained. Stricken from the record.
If they weren't so bad at science, but
Who weren't so bad at science? Science, again, is a category error. You wouldn't know what natural science was if it climbed up your arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in Carolina Reaper lace concertina wire, love. You're a daft cow. Demonstrated. You're demonstrating it.
the underlying problem is much deeper.
What the hell is going on here? We got Mexican jumping beans, sun and moons taking dips in your Elmer Fudd cartoon model. What the hell's going on here? Do you see this, folks?
Because in most of modern
There they are.
science,
There they are again.
average
Peekaboo.
person can't
What
test
the hell is going on with this? Okay, I haven't been listening to her. Let's go back. I know that's healthy not to listen to her, but we're doing a treatment. I have to hear what she says and respond.
if they weren't so bad at science. But the underlying problem is much deeper. Because in most of modern science,
Modern science, again, doesn't exist. You only have natural science and the scientific method, number one. Number two, like I said, again, this topic doesn't have anything to do with natural science whatsoever. It's a complete category error. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get through to her. She's so Dunning-Kruger doofus, it can't penetrate. She's got her Dunning-Kruger defense deflectors up. Deflector shields, Dunning-Kruger type, one each.
the average
Full power, Scotty.
person can't test
Yeah, I like the Mexican jumping beans here.
evidence for themselves. This is why I think it makes sense to identify the origin of this problem.
Origin? Is this a genetic fallacy? There is no problem. You're just a booger-eating bent. It's got do 7 offsuit going all in. You have nothing. You got one big nothing burger. And this is demonstrating that in spades.
And some scientists have actually
No
studied
shit, scientists. This isn't science. This says public understanding of science. It should be public understanding of pseudoscience. And Dunning-Kruger, that's you. I've identified you. You're the one. The Dunning-Kruger effect and flat earthers. Is this theoretical physics? You know, the abstract physicalist? An exploratory analysis. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is pseudoscience. Bunch of horse shit. I want to see the N number, the population number of this. And I want names. You're probably in here.
this. They found that the scientific literacy of flat
Scientific literacy has nothing to do with this topic. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, it's so non sequitur, it's nearly painful that we have to put up with your dumbass. I got to subject my audience, flat earthers, to your dumb shittery. I think they need to seek damages. Your Honor.
earthers tends to be well below population average, and at the same time,
Yeah, sure. And Penelope Pitstop was Bruce Lee's grandfather. Look at this. Overconfidence in science, which are in a complete category, are it's geometry, and frequency percentage. What a clown show.
They're much more confident of their scientific knowledge than the average person. On top of this, we then get echo chambers in social media.
So we got a theoretical physicist dealing with quote unquote echo chambers in social media. Do you abstract physicalists need a job? It doesn't sound like you have one. It's a complete and utter category error of epic mammoth proportions. Are you guys clueless clowns? Don't answer that.
That reinforce their misjudgment. The trouble is that these two issues, lack of knowledge and an inability to recognize this.
That's her. This is pure projection. That's exactly you, love. Good job identifying it.
Lack of knowledge are bound to become increasingly widespread.
It's becoming increasingly widespread with all the pseudoscientists, including you, the abstract physicalist. That's the problem. You've identified the problem. That's the first step.
Simply because, unfortunately, scientific knowledge isn't heritable.
Well, isn't heritable? What type of knowledge is heritable? To say scientific knowledge, which is stupid, isn't heritable, that would sort of imply that there are other types of knowledge that are heritable. Can you name them? And what does this have to do anyway? It's not that you're in a category error. Again, it's non sequitur, all of it.
We're born without knowing anything.
Is this science right here? I mean, she's better dressed than you are, I'll tell you that much. Can't see the full haircut. Is this natural science, Sabina Bruce? Clown.
Of modern science. We have to
Modern science doesn't exist. We've already been over that.
learn everything.
Good job. She's about 10 times smarter than Sabina Bruce is, just with that move right there.
And the more sophisticated science
There isn't no more sophisticated science. There's only natural science and the scientific method. That's it. She just made that up. Objection, Your Honor. Strike that bullshit from the record. She just made that shit up. Sustained.
becomes, the more learning that requires.
The more learning that requires. Is this a scientist? What, looking at a computer screen? Looks like some microscope over here. I'll bet you that's a prop. Like test tubes. You gotta. It's kind of hard to make this out. But he's looking at a computer screen and typing. So does that make him a scientist?
Sometime in the middle of the 20th century or so, we reached a point where modern science just...
Modern science doesn't exist. We already went over that. Is this a scientist? Looks like she's in her natural surroundings. Oh, but she has a laptop. That must be science.
stopped being comprehensible to anyone without a special degree, and this is...
Oh, she's scrolling. Do you need a special degree for that? Inside the data center?
Still the case.
Look at her. She's looking up. Is she looking for birds? Usually in these big warehouses, you got birds flying around up in there. I know because you baltards are fascinated with birds.
I don't really understand how CRISPR works.
I know. We know you don't.
I've no idea what Teichmüller theory...
It's not a scientific theory. You just compromised yourself again, and yeah, we already know you don't know. Duh.
is. I don't know how phones work.
We know you don't.
And I yet have to figure out how to properly fertilize our...
Yeah, we know you don't know these things. Maybe we'll have a Be Kind to Dumb Animal week one day, or 1 week, and we'll touch on these topics for you. But thanks for admitting. You booger-eating bent.
lawn. There's just too much knowledge in the world to...
Too much knowledge in the world. Show. Where's all this knowledge at? Your Honor, baseless bare assertion fallacy again. She's a village idiot. Move to strike. Sustained. I could do that through this whole presentation and have the whole thing dismissed. You know why? Because you're on. booger-eating bent.
To learn at all, and unfortunately no one has yet developed a pill for quantum mechanics.
What the hell are you on about now? You wouldn't know what quantum mechanics was if it climbed up your arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in Carolina Reaper lace concertina wire, love. Let me tell you that. A few years ago, I watched one of your presentations on quantum mechanics and nearly pissed myself. You know about as much quantum mechanics as you do about your Globetard, which is nothing. Because, and again, you're supposed to be a ball-tard scientist. Your mission here is to provide scientific evidence for that ball-tard sphere-tard. I know it's a bit above your level. Let's pull your fleet of slobber nurses out here and we'll talk to them. Okay? You daft cow.
But you don't actually need to learn any physics to see.
No, you don't, because it has nothing to do with physics. It's a geometric question. We've been trying to tell you that for years.
That the Earth isn't flat, even.
What? What'd she say there? Sorry.
No one has yet developed a pill for quantum mechanics.
Oh,
but
brother.
you don't actually need to learn any physics to see that the Earth isn't flat.
That's correct. She's right in that statement. And more importantly, you're not going to use physics to show that it's a sphere-tard. But you must, because you keep on appealing to it. You're a ball-tard scientist. Not really. We know she's just a booger-eating bent. But she thinks she is, and Ball-tards think she is. You're a Ball-tard scientist. We need scientific evidence for your Ball-tard. Again! Please! For everything sacred and holy, can we get to that? Do 7.
Even leaving aside that it requires you to believe in this huge.
Doesn't require any beliefs, you freaking knuckle-dragging nitwit. What the hell are you on about now?
Huge conspiracy, flat Earth ideas.
Conspiracy, we already identified the conspiracy. Looks like we're circling back to that again. The conspiracy is, I'm going to identify it for you. Ready? It's the heliocentric ball-tard spinning space monkey religion. That's the conspiracy. And you're neck deep in it.
Have a much bigger problem.
Hey, these things aren't diving down playing peekaboo. What's up with that? You got 2 different models? You know, your Elmer Fudd models? This is pathetic performance on your part, Sabina Bruce. Absolutely pathetic. Let's take a break. Let's see how pathetic you are. See if my audience thinks you're pathetic. Let's see. Let's see, Moon River. Spherical cow. That's what I should call her. We got some super chats. I got one more. All of them from Roger. Richard Feynman said space is everywhere here. Is that what he said? That don't make any damn sense. Was he talking about outer space or just space? Closed. Keep on giving me those warnings. I ain't going to insert ads and interrupt my presentation. All right, see what we got in here. Oh, we got a lot of people in here. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Roger. Appreciate it. I thought I'd take a break. It's not really, you don't need that high a level to destroy the booger-eating bent. You just don't. You all see what she's doing. Is spherical? Did you just change your name to Spherical Cow, or did you change it when I called her a dumbass cow? Or is that your actual handle? What's up, Bubble U? What's going on out there? Adam Meakin, the spinning space monkey. Does it? Sweet, dude. Thanks, man. Like I said, you know what to do now. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate all your hard work. 18 months later. But hey, you know what? It's beneficial. I know you guys don't know what we're talking about, but me and Adam do. We're going to have a conversation of you not knowing what we're talking about. So like I said, maybe it was more advantageous for us to wait because, you know, now I think we got the core for a little bit. Evening! You're following. I'm going to take a break, man. The meatballs aren't sitting on my stomach very well. Not a meatball guy either. It had onions in it. I needed something to tide me over for the show because at 5:45, usually this is my dinner time when I started the show. So I needed something to tide me over. And I looked inside. Now, my wife said, "Do you want steak?" I said, "Yeah, I do always want steak, yes. But I can't take it right. You know, I can't eat a whole steak and then have a show. I can't do that because I just want to go into a friggin' ribeye coma, if you follow what I'm saying." So I said, listen, let me just cover myself with, and I said, what's in the fridge? And there was some meatballs. I don't usually eat those meatballs. Those are for my son and my daughter. And I got the meatball, and I looked at it, and I could see little pieces of onion sticking out of it. And you see, listen, I love onions, but they don't like me. I know you guys can relate to certain foods that are like that, right? I shouldn't have done it. Spherical cow, QE, it's an old physics joke. Okay, fair enough. Adams, you got a problem with your caps lock button? I've been seeing you do that on your Skype messages and now on your text messages in here. And why aren't you in bed, young man? No dark 30 out where you're at. Oh, Kim, I'll announce it, Kim. Hello, everyone. I'm not able to be active in the chat. I'm in the car with husband. Wouldn't you say my husband? I mean, not my husband, not QE's husband. I don't got a husband. I got a wife. But, you know, I'm just saying it for Kim. Wouldn't you say my husband there, Kim? Wouldn't that be a proper way to say that? I'm in the car with, the husband. Sorry, I didn't see the definite article. You're covered. Oh. Eddie, that's good, Adam. Thanks, man. I like the cap locking on. It looks like a friggin' kidnapping letter. All right, we're just going to take a break. You know what? I might have to go get some water, though. It's not a water run, but it's an ice run. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I know you missed me. Super chat, super booger, super mustache. You miss some SC for booger mom. Thanks, Roger. I don't know what that means. Oh, you missed some super chat for booger mom. Too funny. I got it now. Oh, bad. Divergent Droid. Kim, whose husband are you with? That is not nice. She's with her husband. All right, do we want to finish up this video? It's not a long one, and we've been at it for an hour and 11 minutes. time just seems to fly when we're doing these things. We don't really need to do any. You guys heard enough, haven't you? I mean, for God's sake. Super Booger, Super Mustache. And one for Jethro Tull. You know that Jethro Tull was the first concert I ever saw. How ironic you would say that. Yeah, first concert I ever saw was Jethro Tull back in the day. That was a long time ago. That was in the 70s, man. They were really good, man. Ian Anderson, that boy he just takes that flute. He can play his ass off, man. He was running up and down that stage playing that flute. You know, my daughter played the flute in high school. And I said, you ain't got a chance, man. Ian Anderson. And I pulled him up on the video and showed Ian to her. You could see her jaw drop. Yeah, I've never heard a better flute player than Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull. Now, not saying that there isn't one. I've never heard one. That's my take on it. Yeah, Bryce. Everyone knows Tull in here. Probably not everyone. We got some youngsters in here who probably won't know who that is. Yeah, that's the greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. That's what Sabina Bruce does. You know why? Because she's a booger-eating bent. All right, let's get into this. I guess we got to finish this. Like I said, I don't know why. But let's do it. Is Adam still out there? Adam, you still there? Oh, I can't go. I got to look over here. See if there's an answer. I'm going to catch him. Superficially posting here to make it look like he's here, but then he leaves. You follow that, folks? He's trying to get me off the scent. Oh, he's still here. I didn't catch him. Cool, man. Oh, I know what you're waiting for. I was wondering why you're here. I know exactly what you're waiting for. What if I close up shop for the evening and don't get to it? How would you like that? Adam's watched this video and it was so funny. And I had seen it because I pay close attention to the graphs and stuff that go up, and I had marked it, in my mind because I was laughing my butt off at one of the. You're gonna see what she does. It's absolutely hilarious, and that's what he's waiting for. See, Nathan reviewed this video, but he got fed up with it and didn't run it the whole way through. But we'll do it for Adam. Right? Because he was doing some fine work for us today, so we'll do it for Adam. How about that? All right. Where are you? Do we want that one? We want that Sabina or that one? That's not Sabina, by the way, but you know what I mean. Do we want Bruce Sabina? Or the Peekaboo Sabina? We'll go with the Peekaboo. This is the one we're doing. All right, here we go.
Problem is that you...
let's go back. Wait, I missed some stuff. Here we go. God, you're delusional. You're still reading that prompter, too, aren't you? That's really creepy.
See that the Earth isn't flat. Even
See, the Earth isn't flat.
Leaving aside that it requires you to believe in this huge conspiracy, flat...
What conspiracy? No, the conspiracy, I don't believe in it. It's an absolute fact. The heliocentric spinning space monkey religion is the conspiracy. What's that got to do with your point? You need to prove your globetard, spheretard, with scientific evidence. That's what you need. That's the only thing that you can do. That's the only thing that's acceptable. All this other is just mind-numbing retard theatrics, is all this is. And it's going to be stricken from the record for being totally irrelevant by a boogering bent.
Flat Earth ideas have a much bigger problem.
There aren't no flat Earth ideas. It's measured, observed, and navigated flat.
That you can't do anything with them.
You can't do anything with flat earthers? What? That doesn't even make any damn sense. Your Honor! Objection. We need to have that stricken for the record. That just doesn't make any damn sense. Sustained.
You can't use them to do as much as predict sunset and
You can't use them to do as much as predict what? That doesn't make any, that doesn't, grammatically, it's a train wreck.
sunrise, let alone
Wait a second. Let me go back. Let's hear that fully. Sorry.
have a much bigger problem. Is that you can't do anything with them. You can't use them to do as much as predict sunset and sunrise, let
Number
alone
one.
tides or solar.
Shut up. You stop when I tell you to stop. Number one, there is no prediction. You don't know what a scientific hypothesis is. That's number one. You compromise your science acumen again. Sunrise and sunset? Baltard. This is shocking. You're supposed to be an expert baltard, but the sunrise and sunset on a globetard doesn't exist. It's rhetorical language. Did you get Jedi mind tricked by rhetorical language? You don't even know that. You figured being a priest, you would at least get, the ground squirrel fundamentals of your religion, but you don't even know that. Shocking. Well, it's not too shocking after both performances that we witnessed.
Do as much as predict sunset and sunrise, let alone tides.
Tides? Well, where's your scientific evidence for tides? Would be interested in that. Can we get the hypothesis first? And then my audience, they're gonna need resuscitated from tear-jerking belly laugher syndrome.
Or solar eclipses.
We're gonna need scientific evidence for that too.
Or the paths of planets.
Paths of planets, begging the question, fallacy, planets and orbits. Do you know that you need elevation angles for that? On your next live stream, Sabina Bruce, I want you to define by citation what an elevation angle is. Then you'll hear me in the background. Turn out the lights. Party's over for Bruce Sabina. Clown show. Bugger eating bent.
You can't calculate airplane routes or
Airplane can't calculate airplane routes. Scientists, number one, scientists don't calculate. Mathematicians calculate. Okay? Scientists conduct experiments and validate, not calculate. You get it? Probably don't. And flight, how can you fly? How can aviation even exist on a globetard? That's impossible. That's one of the flat earth proofs. Let me show you there, Bruce Sabina. Watch this one. That's me. I'm the globe terminator. Terminating the globe one pretender clown at a time. That's you, pretender clown. So we can go over here, flat earth proofs. Here, let's go here right to the main site. There we go. And then we go down to flight. Listen. All right. Go through this slowly because I know you have problems with maths. So, since the Earth is, as we're told, just told, not demonstrated, that the Earth is a sphere 25,000 miles in circumference, radius 3959 miles, as if, then pilots traveling for 1 hour at a typical cruising speed of 500 miles an hour to simply maintain altitude, Sabina Bruce, would constantly have to adjust their altitude downwards. Do you follow that? Because your Earth is curving beneath the plane. It has vertical drop to compensate for the curvature and descend on average 2,789 feet every minute. Now, to negotiate the drop, this is really important part. To negotiate the drop, I really don't care. The plane can barrel roll, split S, wing over, tail slide, slow roll, cubinate, falling leaf, the chandelier, or the hokey pokey. But that monkey must descend. This is the really important part. And everyone on the plane will know it. Is this clear? Burpers. You got that? Get with your slobber nurses. They'll go ahead and explain this to you. So let's take a look at this. How many miles of vertical drop, that's geometric drop, must be negotiated over a distance of 500 miles on a spheroid with a circumference of 25,000 miles? Answer, 31.7 miles. How many feet are in 31.7 miles? Answer, 167,376 feet. So, 167,376 feet of vertical drop must be negotiated over 500 miles on a spheroid. You get it? Let's do an example. Number one, real world. I'm traveling by commercial plane from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Atlanta, Georgia for the Super Bowl. Approximate distance, like we said above, 500 miles. Typical cruising speed is 500 miles an hour. Now, this is where it gets tricky for you idiot baltards that can't maths. 500 miles distance at 500 miles per hour equals a travel time of 1 hour. You get it? Probably not. So, question. How many feet of vertical drop per minute on average needs to be negotiated on my trip? Remember, the total feet vertical drop over 500 miles is 167,376 feet. Again, the travel time is 1 hour. It's a simple calculation. Get your fleet of slobber nurses out. 167,376 feet divided by 60 minutes. Answer, 2,789.6 feet of vertical drop per minute on average must be negotiated by the plane on my trip. Does this horseshit ever happen? Nope. The sphere is a stone cold fairy tale. It gets worse. We won't go into this one, but if you're traveling longer distances, because you know the 8 inches per mile squared, you remember that one in your fairy tale religion? That's not exact, but it's close enough for the business that we're doing today. It gets worse. Look at this answer. 128.3 miles needs to be negotiated. How fast? How many feet per minute would it have to drop then? 5,645 feet of vertical drop over a frigging mile per minute on average must be negotiated on that 1,000-mile trip traveling at 500 miles an hour. Does that ever happen? Have you ever flown on an airplane? If that plane drops 20 feet, I know it. Everyone knows it. They feel it. Never friggin' happens. Let's go ahead and officially put this in a modus tollens. And we'll use the last one, the 1,000 miles for the modus tollens. You can use either one. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If commercial planes travel at 500 miles an hour for 2 hours, again, your math skills, that's 1,000 miles, just to let you know. Over a spheroid with a radius of 3959 miles, P, it would then have to descend and negotiate 128.3 miles of vertical drop over the course of its journey, Q. Commercial planes do not descend 128.3 miles while traveling at 500 miles for 2 hours. 500 miles per hour for 2 hours. They don't do that. They fly level, flat. That's not Q. Therefore, the Earth is not a sphere. Therefore, not P. Alice in Wonderland is more tenable than the Baltard spinning space monkey religion. That's trademarked, by the way. The prosecution rests simple. You live in a fairy tale. The end. Get it? Probably not. It's an easy one.
Or understand satellite navigation, even if you know
Satellites don't exist in the sense that you think they exist because you think they're out in the vacuum of space. That's the second law of thermodynamics violation, along with Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac's law, parts of Dalton's law, Avogadro's law, Brownian motion, and the second law of thermodynamics violation. That's a minimum, right? And navigation, turn out the lights, party's over. You need to know what the #1 flat earth proof is. Celestial navigation and elevation angles. Because you can't acquire an elevation angle off a curved surface. Good night, sphere-tards. You're finished. With one itty-bitty triangle. You gotta love that, don't you? That's how simple it is. But I digress.
nothing about how scientists do calculate the
Scientists, like I said, don't do calculations. Mathematicians do. Scientists conduct experiments and validate. They don't calculate. You get it? But you don't know what say. You just compromise your science acumen again. That's not a shocking surprise because we all know you're an abstract physicalist.
these things. It isn't hard to convince yourself that someone, somehow, did manage to actually calculate when the sun will rise.
When the sun will rise. They calculated it, huh? That's astonishing.
And when solar eclipses will occur.
Solar eclipses, just go back to 800 BC and ask the Babylonians. They knew it. I'm just spitballing here, but I don't think they were sphere-tards.
And those were not the people who
They were degenerates, but they weren't sphere-tards.
believe that the earth is flat.
What'd she say about believing the earth is flat again? She's all into beliefs, boy.
Eclipses will occur, and those were not the people who believe that the earth is flat.
Those are not the people that believe the earth is flat. Well, we don't believe the earth is flat. So that's another category of people that you're talking about, not us. Number two, I would like this, Your Honor, I'd like this stricken from the record because this is a baseless assertion fallacy. She's going to have to pull everyone that she stated, and we need to check their beliefs. You know, the mathematicians that calculated sunrise, every single one of them, we're going to need them here in the courtroom. Or it's just hearsay. It's an anecdotal fallacy. I'd like that stricken from the record. Sustained.
Why do flat earthers not realize
Another stereotype fallacy, Your Honor. Get ready.
this?
Don't realize what? Is this the Duncan one or not? Maybe not.
I suspect what's going on is
You suspect. We don't care what you suspect. You're absolutely clueless. You have no awareness of your surroundings whatsoever. Do 7 offsuit, Sabina Bruce.
that they don't have the faintest clue how modern science works.
Objection, Your Honor. Modern science doesn't exist. She just made it up. I'd like that stricken from the record. Sustained.
They might actually believe that drawing a rotating blob on a disk in Blender is the state of the art in physics.
How about hypothetical measurements of penguins' weights? Is that the state of the art of physics? We're going to see it. Oh, I gave it away, Adam. Holy shit, you glue-sniffing fungus muncher. You are a booger-eating bent. Just wait for it, folks. It's coming.
So what are we to do? There are always
Piss off. That's my suggestion. We're going to stomp a mud hole in your ass. That's all we do with you, idiots.
be people who distrust scientists.
Why would we need to trust scientists anyway? Number one, it's a complete category error. You compromised your science acumen again. This is a geometric topic, not a science one. Why would we need to trust scientists anyway? They do experiments and validate. That there's no trust in that. You don't know it. I want you to define trust on your next stream.
and that might not even be a bad thing.
Well,
But
that's not a bad thing. Then you just contradicted yourself. Does she even know what she's saying? Has she mesmerized her audience of absolute fuckwits? How many subscribers you got? She has 346,000 subscribers, people. This glue sniffer's got 346,000 subscribers. There are some stupid people out there. That is scary. Just remember, when you're driving down the highway, there's a chance that you're surrounded by baltards. That is a scary thing. I would suggest to slow down.
But I think it's a mistake to ignore flat earthers, and I do have some sympathy for them. I
Sympathy. Sympathy for the devil. Ooh, creepy.
really do. They're trying to figure out how nature works.
No, not how nature works. We're trying to figure out what is, not how. What is. That is, whether it's a sphere-tard or flat in aspect. Those are what is questions, not how questions. You booger-eating bent?
And that's a good thing. We should
It's a good
just
thing. Science. It's pseudoscience. That's what this moron is. At best, he has a numpty engineering degree. He's no more a scientist than you are, Sabina Bruce.
encourage them to get
Science.
better at it. And then
Encourage us to get better at science. Why? If you would encourage us to get better at figuring out the GNP of Zimbabwe, it would have just the same relevance. You're clueless. You're in a category here.
maybe one day they'll figure out that it's actually much easier to explain their observations
Explain our observations.
if they stop believing that the Earth is flat.
That didn't make any damn sense. Your Honor. You know. Can you get the bailiff over here to grab her by the fucking scruff on the neck or by the ear and just toss her right down the courtroom steps? That was just stupid. And by the way, you're a baltard scientist. Now, we know that you're not, over here. Anyone that can fog a mirror knows you're absolutely clueless and don't know what science is at a fundamental level. However, you think you're a scientist and your fellow baltards think you're a scientist. So, only way you can debunk flat earth, the only way is to provide scientific evidence for your spinning ball space monkey religion. It's the only way. We've been here for 6 minutes and 42 seconds and you haven't identified one. 2-7 offsuit, baby. That's not going to make it here. Okay? Glue sniffer. Not going to make it. Knuckle dragon Dunning-Kruger dipshit daft cow.
Another reason I think we should take flat earthers seriously is that
I thought you were scared of flat earthers. Why flat earthers scare me? Now you want to take them seriously. That's it. It's kind of contradictory. Don't you think? Oh, that's right. You don't think.
a lack of science education.
That's exactly, you're describing yourself. She's looking in a mirror.
It's more of a societal failure than a personal
Let's blame society for your dumbass science acumen.
one. Luckily, there's an easy way to grow your scientific background
How are we going to do that?
knowledge.
Into a category error. She doesn't realize that it's a geometric question. She just doesn't get it. It's not getting through. You pumpkin pie haircutted freak.
Which is on brilliant.org.
Oh, no.
I really like
Brilliant.org. Yeah, what are the other ones? Remember Dorkemer? He's a member of this Brilliant.org, right? And also Dave Twangles McTweegan. And him too. They all push this. Brilliant.org. You're a moron, you booger-eating bent. I mean, this is hilarious. What do you got going on? Ironically, look at this. We got the GDP in trillions and coffee production in billions per kilogram of different countries. Is this physics? Is this graph physics?
Brilliance courses
Better than your little blender example you were charging everyone else with.
because they get to the point very quickly and help me
Yeah,
to
that you're a
remember the
moron.
key facts. All of Brilliance courses
Is this physics? Lightning strikes. What do you notice right around the time the lightning strike reports dropped off? My favorite color changed? Big clown. That's why she's an abstract physicalist.
come with interactive visualizations
Oh, that's really interactive. That looks like physics.
and follow-up questions. This gives you a feeling for
There it is. Okay. Everyone knows, number one, that correlation does not equal causation. And the scientific method in natural science is all about causation. So that's number one out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, for her brilliant.org example, adjust the correlation of penguin weight with this hypothetical measurement. She's got hypothetical measurements down here on the x-axis, and on the y it has penguin weight in grams. This must be physics. Oh man, you're an ass clown. I couldn't do this better myself. I couldn't make this stuff up better myself. Remember, I always said, just let them speak. What a clueless clown, man.
what's going on, and it also lets you
That looks like physics.
check whether you understood it right away. I even have my own
Oh, she's grifting for brilliant.org because she's part of it. Explore physics with Sabina Hasenpfeffer on Brilliant. Oh my God, she's scary, boy. Can't make this up, folks.
course on Brilliant. It's a beginner's course for quantum physics.
You wouldn't know what quantum physics were if it climbed up your arse and started kicking footballs wrapped in Carolina Reaper lace concertina wire. Yeah. Clown show. Idiot.
It explains what the wave function is and
Oh, wave function. There is no wave-particle duality. That's a contradiction. It's a paradox. So what are you going to do? Just spit all the key words and phrases, right? Idiot.
what superpositions and entanglement are.
Ooh, superposition and entanglement. Ooh, those are you're speaking my love language now.
It also covers the uncertainty principle
Oh, throw a little uncertainty principle in there for the booger-eating bent. What else you got left?
and Bell's theorem. And
Bell's theorem. Well, she included all of them. Well, mostly all of them.
afterwards, you can continue
What is scientific thinking? What is that? Science, scientific thinking. First of all, what is science? Then what is natural science? What is the scientific method? Then what in the great googly moogly is scientific thinking? Your Honor, I object. Glue sniffer. Sustained.
learning more about your favorite topics in
About your favorite color.
science, computer science, or math.
I'll bet you she thinks computer science and maths are science.
Whether that's special relativity or
Special relativity. That's not a theory. That's not a scientific theory. The center of mass is the average, but what's mass? Good luck defining that.
quantum computing,
Quantum computing is not natural science.
Brilliant has you covered. If you
Brilliant has you covered, folks. Listen, you got first 30 days are free. You get to learn from Sabina Bruce Hasenpfeffer. She'll make you brilliant. In a hedgehog sort of sense.
use our link brilliant.org/Sabine, you'll get
Sabina Bruce. Creepy.
Get to try out everything on Brilliant for 30 days for free, and you'll get 20% off.
20% off coupon from the Booger Eating Bent.
The annual premium subscription. So go and check this out. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Cringe. In conclusion, Your Honor, she's Booger Eating Bent. That's it. All right. Anyone else still out there? I realize it's a Sunday night. Yes, they are. Hey, we got another super chat. Of course, only from Roger Ledwell. Huh. Ever heard of Whittisit Chapel? No. Never heard of that. Nope. Thanks for the super chat. All right, folks. Listen, I finished that up in an hour and 42 minutes. What do you think about that? Well, you want me to go on for 5 hours and stuff? All right. That's a little short. What do you want to do? What time is it? 7:30. I can't eat a steak that late. I'm not all that particularly hungry either. I can still taste the darn meatballs. It's a yeah, it is a new record, isn't it? Well, let's do something off the cuff. Then we're done with that one. That was really scary. Let's go. I know I already did a treatment on this, and that was some time ago, a year ago. What flat earthers believe. Let's take a look at what flat earthers. I don't believe any. We already been down that road. Are they just trolling? What? Oh, history. You could forget that. I'm not doing that shit. Trouble with Zeticism. I think we already went through this one, didn't we? I know I already did, but this isn't doing it for me. Let's listen to, we'll just do the last part. I know we already went over this in the beginning. You know, when she pooped her brains out over here. Let's go, let's listen to some of this. We'll do it again. How about that? Hold on. Let's see if they want to do that. They might not want to do that. You guys want me to stay on here? Do a little bit more of Sabina Bruce? Yes, no, maybe. Hands, yes, yep, no, yes, maybe. There's Adam up there with the hypothetical measurement. Yeah, he's gone now. He's not here anymore. That's what he was waiting for. He is now complete. Adam, you still out there, man? We're going to catch him again. There'll be no Adam left. That's all he was waiting for. You could compromise me. Just say hey right here in chat. I hear you. Yes. Yeses. Divergent Droid said he's good. Where is that Adam? I busted him this time, man. I know I did. The Adam Meekin. Evening. You just stayed for that hypothetical penguin measurement and left. Yep. Ah, he busted me. Yeah. All right. Kudos to you, Adam, for sticking around the whole time. Like I said, I know it's Oh Dark 30 over there. Nice kidnapping letter. All right, we'll stay here a little bit longer. Like I said, we'll go over the last part again because I thought it was particularly funny. And then we'll see where we end up. Here we go.
So yourself
Stop. There you go.
collected lots of evidence that science works.
Science works. I know we already went over this. She thinks science is a verb.
Any airplane, any laptop, any pair
There's their airplanes and laptops. And spectacles.
of glasses
No, just a pair of glasses, not glasses, just a pair of glasses.
is evidence that science works.
How so? Yeah, I'd like to hear that. She doesn't know the difference between natural science and technology. two completely different topics.
It's evidence that the system works. It's evidence for how the whole world works.
She's scary insane. Just look at her. Go ahead, salve the ball-tard's soul now.
So, if you cannot recall just what experiments demonstrate that the Earth is not flat,
That's classic. Thank you.
or if you cannot immediately figure out what's wrong with flat earthers' arguments, there's no shame in
There's no shame, ball-tards. No, so poor baby ball-tards getting the mud hole stomped in that ass and bitch slapped. No shame.
rejecting the
Remember, you have airplanes, laptops, and a pair of glasses. You got them back in the hopper. You got us. Gotcha, Flurf.
their claims, because your rejection is based on evidence.
Evidence of a pair of glasses.
Evidence that
You need to be institutionalized. Seriously. And everyone in my audience knows that. For absolute fact.
science works. What's wrong is that flat earthers claim they are leading a scientific argument.
Or leading a scientific argument. Haven't I, for the last 8 years, ever since I come out here, been doing the opposite? Judge, I want this stricken from the record. This is a baseless assertion fallacy. Bunch of horseshit. Sustained.
But there is no scientific argument about whether the Earth is flat.
Or a sphere. That's the whole point. Because it's a category error. It's a geometric argument.
This argument was settled long ago.
Oh, really? That's an argument to age fallacy. And what was the argument, by the way? You got that?
Instead,
You didn't do it, Your Honor. Your Honor, objection, Your Honor. Village idiot. She's not supporting her claims. Her idiotic, ignorant, boogering bent claims. Not a single one. Sustained.
flat earthers' argument is about whether you should trust evidence that other people have collected before you.
Flat earthers' arguments are for evidence about what others have collected before you. I don't think so. That wasn't on my website. See, that's what happens with stereotype fallacies. Did you get the fallacy part? Doubtful. Get your fleet of slobber nurses to explain it to you.
And it's an important argument because this
What's an important argument? You didn't state the argument.
trust is essential for society and science to
Trust? No, trust has nothing to do with it. Not with science, natural science, it doesn't. Don't need to trust shit. You need to look for demonstrations via experiment for validation of claims. That's all it is. No trust, no need for trust.
progress. The only
Progress.
alternative we have is that each and every one of us has to start over from scratch with birth.
What the hell? We have to start over from scratch with birth? Who does she think she is? Doc Brown, Sabina Bruce? We gonna go back in time and get reborn again? It's a what the are you on acid? What the hell?
You see, flat earthers would eventually figure
Stereotype fallacy.
out the Earth is round.
Round and flat aren't mutually exclusive. Yoo-hoo! CDs!
But it might take them 1,000 years until
It might take them 1,000. Your Honor, she needs to be institutionalized. He's already stricken everything off the record anyway. You booger-eating bint.
they've reinvented modern science.
Modern science doesn't exist. She was doing the modern science back then, too. Modern science doesn't exist. Your Honor, objection. Stricken from the record. Sustained. There's just natural science and the scientific method. That's it.
This is why I think scientists should take flat earthers' philosophical problems seriously.
What? You got scientists So now she has scientists solving philosophical problems of populations they're unaware of. That's what she thinks science is. Look at her. Dumbass cracker. My word, are you stupid. But that's what she thinks natural science is. There she is for you. In all her glory, baltards.
It's a problem that any scientifically advanced society must address.
What's the problem? The philosophical problem? I thought you had scientists solving that.
It's not possible for each and every one of us to redo all experiments in the history of science.
Why would we need to do that? Yeah, even if we showed you one experiment, you wouldn't be able to recognize it because you don't know what an experiment is. You don't even know what a friggin' scientific hypothesis is. I would bet the farm that you have no idea what independent or dependent variables are. I'd bet it all. I'd be going all in. That's for damn sure. Deuce 7, Bruce, Sabina, clown.
It therefore becomes increasingly important that scientists provide evidence for
Scientists provide evidence for what?
how science works.
For how science works. Or provide scientific evidence for how science works. Non sequitur fallacy, pragmatic fallacy. It's just an ass clown statement. And a complete category error. Forgot that. It's so many things, man. This is getting old, dude.
So that people who cannot follow the research itself.
What research? And prove that research is scientific. Your Honor. Objection. Have that stricken from the record. She's a glue sniffer. She would fail by demonstration. She already done it. Intro to 5th grade general science. So she can't speak to science. It's appeal to authority fallacy. Have it stricken from the record. Sustained.
Can instead rely on evidence that the system produces correct and useful descriptions of nature.
No, that's not what natural science does. They don't describe anything. Any idiot can describe things, right? In natural science, they explain, and this is the important part, via demonstrated experiments. It's got to be validated for their explanations, or their explanations are just so stories. They're worthless. I can get a just so story down on the corner with your village idiot. There's thousands in each town. There's village idiots everywhere. That's where you can get descriptions from, you glue sniffer.
To me, therefore, flat earthers are a
Stereotype fallacy.
warning sign that scientists should take seriously.
That scientists should take seriously. This is, Your Honor, objection. This is complete category error. She wouldn't know what science was if it landed on her face, giggled, and whistled friggin' Dixie.
The more difficult scientific experiments and
More
arguments
difficult scientific experiments are like what? You don't know what an experiment is. You wouldn't be able to recognize it.
are to follow for non-experts.
Like you, non-experts. Appeal to authority fallacy. Yeah, you're an abstract physicalist. A theoretical physicist that uses poles.
The more care we must take
and poles and hypothetical measurements of penguin weights.
to explain how we lead those arguments.
How we lead those arguments. I think I stopped here before. That's the end of it. I don't know what she says here. See if you guys can figure it out.
The more care we must take to explain how we lead those arguments.
How we lead those that doesn't make any damn sense. I have no idea what she's saying. Okay, I've had enough of looking at her stupid face. You little pumpkin pie haircutted freak. Yeah, I'm about done. Oh, we still got some more people out there. What do you want me to do now? Dance a jig? I'll take requests. You got 20 minutes. 8 o'clock. That's it. That's Central Time. It's 7:41 right now. You want some entertainment? I know a song you might like.
In the fragile realm where mysteries abide, there walks a man with knowledge as his guide. They call him QE, the quantum eraser.
Oh, yeah.
He moves through the world with purpose and grace, destroying beliefs at a steadfast pace, asking what science and what's math. His wisdom cuts through like tempered glass. They call him QE, the quantum eraser. A master archer with bow in hand, his aim is true across the land, not just in science, but in every heart. He hits his mark with a steady heart. They call him QE, quantum eraser.
Get some, girl.
It's all too easy for him when he takes the stage. With every word he states, they feel the rage. His presence alone rattles that cage. The crayon eating numpties are running out of time. They call him QE, the quantum eraser. With every swing of the cowbell, the illusion fades. And with each strike, the glow bursts, illusion degrades. QA's treatments, they cure them of their plight. Guide them toward truth with all his might. They call him QE, quantum eraser. The hardest thing about being a Glover is telling your daddy you're gay, oh so gay. That's why they need QE's treatments. They call him QE, quantum eraser. They call him QE, the quantum eraser.